networks. Sekolah Sultan Al-Amsyah. And third judge is Miss Shamika Amira bin Saleh from Sekolah Menengah Sains Pasir Putih. And I, Fatin Amani from SBPI Contact, while the timekeepers Nurul Anisanilah bin Yusri and MIRI Fatihah bin Yaman are from Sekolah Menengah Sains Sultan Terengganu. Now, allow me to read the rules. Each team should consist of presenters and a technical assistant. The presentation must focus on the subject assigned to the team. The duration of the presentation should not be more than 10 minutes. The bell will be rung once at the 90 minutes and twice at the 10 minutes. A question and answer session will be conducted after each presentation. Now, let's hear from the first team, SBPI Tun Abdul Razak, to present.
In their hands, the world finds its way. Empower the youth, a brighter day. They lead with heart and grace, their legacy to embrace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Today I stand here the presenter, Aisha Dini Bint Rahman Arfak.
I'm Ahmad Zuhair Ramlan as the moderator.
And I am Nur Kaisha binti Muhammad Badrun as a reporter.
My fellow friend over there is Muhammad Denis bin Muhammad Samsusli. He is our wonderful technical assistant for today. Today, we represent the Integrated School of Tun Abdul Razak going to the Frsis Symposium for today. So first and foremost, the title that we have chosen for our presentation, Fostering Peaceful Societies, the Role of Education and Youth Empowerment. We have broken down our title into 3 sections to make everyone understand thoroughly what we want to deliver to everyone today. So first and foremost, what does it mean by quality education? Quality education is a form of learning that provides students effectiveness, knowledge, skills and values, fostering their potential, their skills into understanding something that's occurring in the society and preparing them to contribute meaningfully to the society. Next phrase we have chosen is future generation. First and foremost, I'd like to ask, who are the future generations today? Please raise up your hand. Yes, we can see that the youth, we are the future generations that are going to be contributing for a more better change into the future. Next, we have chosen youth involvement. The people who are raising their hands are the people who are learning the quality education to be a more quality leader into the future, who can lead the people, because a quality leader needs quality education. And with that, it results to youth empowerment towards peace building. That is what we want to try to deliver today. Under the sub-theme 2, SDG 4 quality education. Why does this Sustainable Development Goal exist in the first place? It's because the UN, they want to create a world with more developed nation, with a more developed thinking. And a goal exists because we haven't achieved that yet. So in order to achieve a goal, there must be efforts put. And soon after into our presentation, we'll try to deliver the efforts that we want to implement in our society today. The research objective that we have chosen today is simple. Number 1, we want to state the effects of absence in quality education. And number 2, we want to find a way to solve issues regarding this problem.
This goal is not euphoria. There are bad effects in absence of quality education.
There are 2 of them. Number 1, social isolation. Number 2, inadequate conflict prevention.
So number 1, I will be trying to explain what is social isolation. As you can see today, a simple example of social isolation is a young person who is very passionate about presenting peace towards everyone, but they lack the access to educational resources and support. This individual may not have the access to a quality education, such as mentors or opportunities to engage with like-minded peers. As a result, they feel they feel isolated and unable to effectively contribute to peace-building efforts due to limited knowledge and resources. Next is inadequate conflict prevention. Without an awareness to identify and address potential sources of conflict societies, this may lead to struggles to prevent conflicts effectively.
Sierra Leone War. And what is that? Social isolation, inadequate conflict prevention, all of that can lead to this war. And there is a town named Freetown, but the people there are not actually free.
There was a little innocent child who shouldn't be holding a firearm, was holding a firearm. They should have been playing with toys. They should have spent their childhood freely, but instead, this is what happens. These are the examples of the effects of absence in quality education. This war had a devastating impact on Sierra Leone society and education system. This is where SDG4 comes into play. The Sierra Leone War led to social isolation and inadequate conflict prevention, especially among the little children who are innocent, who should spend the time playing and enrolling in school. They were forced to become children's soldiers without any choice. Hence, absence of quality education can lead to road destruction. A question that pops into mind. When an issue is occurring, there must be efforts. So what is efforts? When an issue is occurring, there must be the efforts. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, but what are the examples of the efforts?
Girls who don't know about it, there are three efforts to create efficient education. First, promote education welfare. Second, encourage youth education. And last but not least, teacher training.
In order to solve something, you don't need all these multiple formulas, numerous formulas. We just need the best of the best. And today, we have chosen number one, promoting education welfare. In what way? We want to improve the quality of education by providing resources, training for teachers, and also updating curriculum materials. Number two, our second effort is to encourage the youth in education. Encouraging the youth as the youth in order to become a quality leader, as I've stated, you need to have quality education and you need the support given by the teachers. And number three, teacher training. As for example, we take Denmark. Teacher training is very seriously and it should be very highlighted as the teachers are the ones who give the knowledge to us and we are the ones who receive. From a quality teacher, it creates a quality student and quality students creates a quality leader.
Behind every logo, there must be a meaning. And this is a logo of the Wellspring Foundation of Education. And it has a quote that goes like this. Every child has potential. Every child should deserve to be treated with dignity. Every child should have the opportunity to thrive.
And with that cohesion, it becomes a vision. And with that vision, it results to many positive impacts that we want to implement to our world today. This Wellspring Foundation organization is one of the wonderful, beautiful examples that relates to the UN's goals itself, SDG4, quality education. This was implemented in Rwanda, Africa. It's focusing on the little children who doesn't get the opportunity to actually excel in their education as they don't have the suitable environment. So with that, a person named Senior, he is a youth who thought that in order to make a better change, every individual should get the equal opportunity to excel in the education, to become more powerful leaders who can lead the world for more better change. And that is all related to efforts. The three efforts we have stated, which is encouraging youth in education. Number two, teacher training. And the last one is the promoting welfare.
Right, how about education we use in this research?
The methodology we have used is two. Number one, quantitative, and number two, qualitative. For the quantitative, we have made surveys with the youth themselves, as we believe that this title for today is focusing on the youth. And instead of taking someone from the PPD offices, we are focusing the youth who are currently going through the issues that are occurring in the society today. We have asked questions such as, do you believe that youth can contribute to peace? Do you think that education is important for peacebuilding? Simple questions, but it has great impact for the answers. We have provided answers such as agree, neutral or disagree. And it may seem like it may be the majority of the positive answers, but there are still the negative responses as well. Because everyone exists, everyone is raised in a different type of background, and they have a different type of thinking or interpreting and information that has been given. Right? We want to provide a place, we want to create a platform, or we want to highlight the platforms that already exist to help students to voice out their opinions and to make sure that their opinions are being accepted and heard. And next, equality. We want a very popular.
Our voice is heard.
Simply, it says 100% no. So from that 100% no, we want to turn it into 100% yes. We want to highlight the platforms that already exist. And for example, we have the MUDA. The MUDA organization, it provides a place for the students at the young age of 15 to have the platform to voice out their opinions, to make sure that they are being heard. Number two, we have Frsis itself. We are sharing our thoughts. We are getting our thoughts being heard. Because in order to be heard, you must first listen. And here are some of the examples. We have debating also. We have public speaking competitions. These are one of the examples where there are platforms for the students to actually enroll in their life. And with that, we would like to end our presentation with thank you.
Now, I would like to invite participants to ask questions.
First of all, thank you for the wonderful presentation. Now, I will do and let me ask a question. This may seem minor, but are you sure that the Sierra Leone war was caused by the inequality of education and not because of political instability? Can you please
Thank you for the question. This is why we related Sierra Leone war in our example for today. The leaders were corrupted. They didn't have the quality education, the quality knowledge to lead their country itself. The Sierra Leone war had three parties, which were the citizens who wanted their rights, who wanted a more quality country. They were the RUF organization, and they were also the leaders, the government themselves. The governments are the ones who are in charge to handle the country, and we're stating that the leaders, they didn't have the quality education. We want to ensure that every leaders, our future generation, are getting the quality education that is needed to lead the country for a more better change. I hope that answers the question. Are there any more questions?
So you said earlier, you said that there is 100% more for our voices heard. So are you pretty sure that the youth voices are not heard when there is a lot of videos for youth to expand their voices?
Thank you for the question. As you're stating, we are not. We have taken the example of respondees from the youth itself, not the youth as a whole, and that was their own opinions, stating that they believe that their voices were not being heard. Of course, it is 100% no for their own reasons. As I have explained before, everyone is from different backgrounds and they go through different situations in their life, and they believe that they would give them the choice to have their voices being heard. There are platforms that exist. That's why we have explained about the MUDA, we have explained about Frsis, public speaking and debates. That's one of the platforms where we are trying to make the effort to make sure that every individual gets the chance, every individual gets the voices being heard. I hope that answers the question.
What are gadgets? Gadgets are a small mechanical electronic devices or tools that is mainly created to simplify human life. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen, discussing the effects of the obvious of gadgets among teenagers. An article by research has shown that hours spent by teenagers on their devices is 7 hours and 22 minutes. Genuinely concerning, I would say. With that, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good day I bid to our lovely judges and our wisdom audiences. After a few months of preparations, we will be standing for Scholar of Science SEMBRONG, presenting our draft ride titled Cadet Heart, Teenagers' Interest for Education Towards Peaceful Society, under the theme of education, youth empowerment towards peace building. But first, I bear the honor of introducing my team members. Holding position of rapporteur, my name is Nur Ifam Ali, and beside me is Akib Ini. Next, our adorable moderator, Nail Munira, and nicely, Azizambi Azri, our skillful technical assistant. Now, I instructed Akib to explain our background study.
Thank you, Aliba. It's amazing to see just how much our lives, our world have been transformed by technological advancement. What it means is that everything is perfect on the surface. There is nothing concern over the thing. What it means is that everything is perfect on the surface. We cut in your constraint plan the immense different iceberg. Our teens are becoming more and more reliant on the devices, which is definitely something we should keep an eye on.
Moving on to the global statement, according to the Study With Me website, gadget addiction is one of the main reasons why students cannot excel in their academic performances. Written in this article, that this proportion of youth leads to big numbers of student harm. Especially, this will lead to their students do not focus in their education.
We have not one, but two ambitious goals to achieve. First, let's delve into the ramification of a drop in student engagement among teenagers, who are the future leaders and trusted global governance. Then, let's examine ways to promote this comprehensive growth of this individual with the invaluable aid of parents.
Significantly, this study was made to spread an understanding of gadgets harm to teenagers, and secondly, to foster a harmonious community, and thirdly, to empower educated parents.
We have delved into the fascinating world of how adolescents and young adults perceive the use of technology. Our sources, which include reputable academic papers and newspapers, have yielded intriguing information that we believe you all will find equally captivating.
We came out with a simple research hypothesis, which is that the overuse of electronic devices has negative impact on teens' academic achievement, mental stability, and social life. Our theoretical formulation of the research problem branches into three issues. We start with having concepts about teens' obsessions with gadgets. It is clear that contemporary adolescents are often preoccupied with their gadgets. And secondly, education-based empowerment. It is believed that educating the future generation will enable them to effectively handle conflict and obstacles. And thirdly, the cruciality of youth education. Since young people are the future of society, it is significant to give them appropriate education.
Our modern world is awash with devices that have revolutionized how we access information, our daily interaction, and our journey of life. While these advancements come with their own share of benefits, there is growing concern over their impact on fostering a peaceful society, especially among the youth and in education. Extensive studies on the topic have shown that technologies like tablets, smartphones, iPads have hindered students' drive to learn and stripping the extension skill vital for creating peace and harmony. It is important to recognize this trend, to encourage teens to further their education and to actively contribute to a more peaceful community. Using surveys and questionnaires, we have gathered 12 data on teenagers' digital behavior. To further augment our research, We also draw insights from reputable academic papers.
It has been a very hot topic in Malaysia, and I think his student disregarded his classes was straight too much due to his compassion towards gadgets. This thing highlighted the severity of gadgets addiction issues in Malaysia. Not just that, we also found another 4 articles that shares a similar issue, that is gadget addiction. These current issues are sure to spread awareness of the critical sense that are monopolized among students. Day by day, this compassion spread by wildfire. To share our points, we, the representative of SEMBRONG, also made a survey regarding gadget addiction that had been done by 100 students of our school. We took about 20 papers from each class. Starting with first question, the main reasons for gadget usage resulted in social networking winning most of the votes with 67 votes, while for the minority, school and training activity with 47 votes. Moving on to our second question, time spent by teenagers on gadgets. Most students seem to spend 4 to 7 hours a day, which is quite unheard, while the minority spend 1 to 3 hours on their devices, and the rest agree to spend more than 7 hours on their phones.
What we can actually see here is that the majority of students in system are actually aware that they are in a state of addiction. But the school, the teachers, the parents, the guardians might not even realize that the youngsters are actually in a state of addiction. This is why our research are important to bring awareness to the society about teenagers' gadgets behavior.
Moving on to the final question, they asked about students' opinion on how to overcome this addiction of use. Most of CSM students agree that youth need to practice self-discipline in their daily life, while most of the boys agree on utilizing gadgets for productive purposes. This final question explains how students agree how to overcome this addiction of youth. Most of CSM students agree that youth need to practice self-discipline in their daily life, while least of the boys agree on utilizing gadgets for productive purposes.
What can we interpret from our data is to effectively combat teenage addiction to gadgets, we must first comprehend its underlying causes, ask adolescents and tests. Multiple factors contribute to the dependency. Foremost among this is lack of accountability, with a 50% majority votes from our data. With easy access, it is arduous for youngsters to regulate their own gadget usage. Influence from peer, contributing 52.6% from our research, also exaggerated these issues. When studied by peers who display similar addiction patterns, this might even normalize excessive usage within their circle, making them difficult to acknowledge their own habits. Next, it is undeniable that we live in a digital world. However, it is crucial that we take some thoughtful measures into our gadget usage. Begin with practicing self-discipline by implementing digital detox breaks, starting with this and gradually increase their length. These breaks provide a perfect opportunity to engage in academic pursuits such as getting enough sleep, or what our generation would generally call touch the grass, or eating some healthy foods. Next, not to mention participating in physical activities. As we all know, participating in physical activities or vigorous activities can actually stimulate endorphin hormone, which can actually curb gadget craving.
And that leads us to believe that gadget addiction causes a downfall of students' academic performances, and it will also affect students' ability to think critically, which is crucial for the character development of future students. Coming out with our very final conclusion, we concluded that youth must learn how to utilize their gadgets and time wisely so that they will not fall behind in terms of education. And for the parents, we concluded that they should spend more time with their children to understand their emotions better. These are the differences of printed opinions from scholars and official scientific websites. Again, my name is Ajibah and this lecture is Akib. We deeply appreciate our students for living their years and ours. We wish you to be happy always and thank you very much. Now, I would like to invite participants to ask questions. I would like to invite judges to give questions.
Okay, so my question is, you mentioned just now that you should control using the device electronic. So in terms of parents, okay, can you give some suggestions or the way how parents should control their children using the electronic device?
Thank you for the question. Your question just now is about parent suggestion.
Yes.
So they just can control their usage of device. I think parents should encourage time management skills among the teenagers because I'm sorry. I think teenagers. I think parents should limit screen times on their teenagers' devices because right now, according to our research data just now, approximately teenagers spend 7 hours on the devices per day. So by limiting their screen time, they can they,
I want to add to Nelly's answer. Right? How can parents regulate their child's gadget usage? Parents should spend time more with their child. Parents should show love, affection, and attention to their child, and not just leave their child around the house lingering, playing games all day long, working 9 to 5 without showing any affection.
other than that, parents should also observe on what their teenagers use their gadgets for. Like according to our research data, nowadays teenagers use their devices on social networking such as Instagram. So now parents should make sure that most of the time teenagers use their devices for school and training activities or searching information so that they cannot be exposed to the darker sides of the internet. There are more questions. Yes, may I ask a question?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aisha Dini Bintan Arbak from Integrated School of the RAZAK. So I want to ask, are you neglecting that there are the advantages of using gadgets in Peacebuilding?
Thank you for the question. Yes, I agree that gadgets can contribute to visibility such as they can search information. They can search information for building issues and so they can search for building issues and enhance their understanding about building and global issues right now. But right now we are stressing about the gadgets negative impacts on teenagers. But I do agree that gadgets do have their positive impacts towards teenagers. But I think, in our opinion and according to our research, that gadgets contribute more to negative impacts towards teenagers. Is that answer your question? Thank you.
and etc.
Imagine we live in a world where all youth have equal chances and opportunities to contribute towards peacebuilding. Imagine all youth have the autonomy to do what's best for their country. Imagine we live in this type of success. But before moving on any further, good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. moderators, accurate keepers, and lastly members of the board. I'm Ibu, and I'm Nabil, and today we, the representatives from Sekolah Menengah Sistem INTAN, are going to present our research entitled Use as Prospect Peacebuilding, the Perception of Discrimination Towards Social Class in the Malaysian Education System. First of all, let's get to know our team members first. Firstly, we have Upu Muhammad as the moderator, me myself Muhammad Davinas, and Ibrahim Izzah as our rapporteur, and Fadli Abdul Taslim as our technical assistant. We also don't forget our beloved teacher Muhammad as our assistant teacher. But before diving any further into our research today, let's just identify the background of our study. The Malaysian education system was built upon a few elements such as firstly, nurturing youth for the country's workforce, secondly, promoting peace, and thirdly, preserving culture while still fostering unity. But realize that this mission can be achieved without its adversities. And ladies and gentlemen, if you take a look at the newspaper excerpt here, it tells us about the Sabah under 18 and under 15 football team that were unable to compete at the national stage due to the lack of funding. And this is a form of discrimination and adversity that exists in the study. Hence, the study dives into two things eventually. Firstly, how the issue of discrimination of social class is perceived among youth, and secondly, to understand the social experience relating to their social class. Now, let's move on to the significance of our study. Our study consists of two primary tools. Number one, to understand this issue of discrimination that's occurring among youth living in low-income neighborhoods or vulnerable. And secondly, to understand the factors that contribute towards this issue of discrimination. Moving on to the problem statement of our study. According to previous studies, it has been clear that family income is the leading cause of discrimination among social class in the Malaysian education system. And this is an issue because it impacts the quality of education in Malaysia. Therefore, we need to recognize the relationship between two things. Number one, income inequality, and secondly, discrimination, which are both crucial parts in making education in our country equal. Back to you, Nabil. Thank you. Now, with that said, let's move on to the objectives of our research. Our research is now come into two things. To understand this issue of discrimination, wealth, income, and socioeconomics among youth. And number two, was to suggest practical and viable solutions to address this issue of discrimination. Why so? This is so for some better national education system at the end of the day. Moving back to you. Thank you, Nabil. Hence, to answer those two questions stated by Nabil just now, we have provided the hence, moving on to the next part, the problem. But Nabil, thank you. But this is our two research questions regarding this topic. Number one thing is to see, is there any income discrimination that's occurring among youth living in that circumstances? And number two is to see what are the interventions that could be made to help and to solve this issue of discrimination. Thank you, Nabil. Hence, to answer those two questions that have been finally stated by Nabil just now, we have provided a questionnaire in the form of quantitative assessment, and we have got a total of 255 respondents to answer our questionnaire, which consists of 10 items. And from those responses, we have done a process of descriptive analysis to analyze the responses that have been given to us. Moving on. And for the criteria of our respondents, they are students from 5 different schools in the Bangladesh district, and they are in the range of 13 to 17 years old. Now, with that said, let's move on to our first part, which is about education inclusivity. Basically, what does education inclusivity looks like is that people that possess more wealth, they tend to have a higher access to education compared to people who possess less wealth, where they don't have really high access to education. As you can see on this section here, we have provided two questions on this matter. As you can see, these two questions is being portrayed in this graph here, which ranges from 1 to 5, 5 being strongly agree to 1 is being strongly disagree. As you can see, you get a total mean of 4.016, meaning that the majority of people agree with our statement here. Moving on to our second findings, this section aims to dive in the relationship between the student's performance and our social academic status. And if we take a look at the B1 question here, on the paragraph there it exists for, which means that the majority of our respondents agree that students who belong to urban areas tend to become successful than students who belong to rural areas. And for B2, if we take a look at the paragraph there, it reaches for, which also means that many of our respondents agree to the fact that students coming from a high-income family tend to do better than students coming from a low-income family. Now, let's move on to question 3.
For question 3, we are seeing that students who come from a high income family, they tend to have higher paying job at the end of the day. As you can see from this question here, there is inverted here. Also, the majority of people agree on statement. And for question 4, we are seeing that the relationship between their students' parents' academic background and their children's likelihood of success in the future. As you can see from four questions here, also the majority of people agree on. Throughout 4 questions on this section here, we get a total of 4.08, meaning that the majority of people agree on statements on this section.
Going back to you. Thank you, Nabil. Now let's take a look on our third point. And this section aims to look over what efforts should be done by the government to tackle this issue of discrimination of the use of Malaysia. And we provided 3 questions to fulfill this criteria of government efforts. And firstly, let's take a look at C1. On the paragraph there, it exists for, which means that the majority of our respondents agree that the government should have better funding on infrastructure for education. For example, schools in rural areas cannot have the computer labs complete with 5G internet connection. And moving on to C2, on the paragraph there, it exceeds 3 and is closer to 4, which also means that the majority of our respondents agree that the government should pump in money for these non-governmental organizations so that students from any type of social class can have equal education. And for C3 lastly, the majority of our respondents agree that we need to raise awareness towards the general public regarding this issue of discrimination. And this is proven in our paragraph there, which exceeds 4. And overall for this section, we got a total mean of 4.109, which simply means that most of our respondents agree with our statement regarding this matter of government. And hence, this just answers our research question on the existence of the issue of discrimination in the Malaysian education system.
Now, let's move on to our fourth and last findings. In this findings here, we have provided open-ended questions to our respondents to see what we done to solve this issue of discrimination. As you can see from our slide here, we decided to highlight 3 of those ideas here. Number 1 is to have anti-bullying campaigns. How this idea could be done? 2 ways. Number 1 is by government hosting their own national events to solve this issue of bullying. And number 2 is by communities and society themselves taking their own stance to make their own way to solve this issue of bullying. And number 2 is by encouraging parents to take a more dominant role. This looks like parents, instead of them merely hiring tutors, now they'll have more dedication, they put more effort on their time towards their children's education. And for number 3 is for providing educational scholarships. How this could be done is students that have potential, but they don't have the resources, they don't have the money to go to which university or which education institution that they want. By now them getting the money, getting the resources that is mandatory for them to go to which university or education institution that they want. They just conclude our fourth and last research here.
We have listened to the suggestions coming from our respondents. Now let's hear to the suggestions coming from our team. We have 2 suggestions to mention. Firstly, governments and communities should educate teachers and tutors on the issue of discrimination and also provide courses on creating enjoyable classes. And why do we do so? This is to create awareness amongst teachers on the issue of discrimination that might come up during their classes. And secondly, the government should provide financial support for non-governmental organizations such as Iskul Samadila Umadan, which is an non-governmental organization that exists in Sabah that teaches basic things such as English and Bahasa Melayu. This is to ensure equal education for students coming from any type of social class. Hence, this just answers our research question on interventions needed to tackle this issue of discrimination in the Malaysian education system. Back to you, Nabil.
Thank you. Now let us include the entire research here. In our research, we decided to employ quantitative method questionnaire on the objective of identifying this issue of discrimination amongst youth living in Bangladesh. As you can see from the responses that were provided by me and the majority of people agree with our statements on the existence of discrimination and there's a need by governments and society alike to solve this issue together. Hence, this has answered our 2 objectives here. Number 1 being the existence of this issue of discrimination, and number 2 being on what could be done to solve this issue. It's the new dawn for Malaysia, striving for better tomorrow. We thank you all for listening.
Now, I would like to invite participants to ask questions.
Leon from Semester. I have one question regarding your interview. What medium of interview have you utilized? As an example, face-to-face interview or online interview? For the questionnaires, how did you gather the data?
For the question as stated by we decided to do quantitative method, which we give out questionnaires, a list of questionnaires to people. We are not doing interview. We are not doing qualitative. We are doing quantitative. Thank you.
How can we confirm if the questionnaires who answer the question is a real people who answered your question? Because you haven't provided any data regarding people who answer your questions.
Okay, so for that thing, we provided questionnaires to students of 5 schools in the Baganda district, meaning to say that we provided face-to-face questions, real printed questions to them. So you just answer some questions. Does that answer? Yeah. Thank you.
So, based on your first of all, I am Samia from and I would like to say an assigning presentation. So my question is, based on your study about social class discrimination, may you please elaborate on how this relate to youth empowerment?
Okay. Basically, how does this relate? When you have discrimination, you don't have an ability to voice out to become someone successful. Youth empowerment looks like you are having discussion, you collaborating and making the world a better place. But you can't do that when you have discrimination, when you're being discriminated against. So I think this will answer your questions, right?
I think that's enough for today. Now, we will allow 3 minutes for the judges to intervene the next team and settle down.
This journey begins with the concept of youth. So who are the youth? There are many definitions of youth age. In Vietnam, Article 1 of the Youth Law 2020 has regulations on youth age as follows. Youth are Vietnamese citizens from 16 years old to 30 years old. Next, let's explore the concept of youth empowerment advocated by UNESCO. UNESCO defines youth empowerment is about enabling young people to shape their lives in society. Empowered youth become engaged, confident, and impactful individuals. By equipping young people with the necessary tools and opportunities, they can become powerful agents of change in their societies, working towards a more peaceful and inclusive world. Our presentation will be in three parts. First, we'll explore the potential of Vietnamese youth, then address the challenge that they encounter, and finally, we'll showcase how our school empowers students, and conclude with call to action. Now, my teammate will guide you through the heart of our presentation.
Thank you, Michelle. In Vietnam, the youth are the driving force behind positive changes in Peacebuilding. Their energy ignites hope, their creativity sparks innovation, and determination paves the way to a harmonious world. From community projects to policy advocacy, they are making a real impact. Together, let's celebrate and supporting their unwavering commitment to peace. Now, I will present to you some of our most potential. To recognize that Vietnamese youth potentials can make a positive impact. Let's explore how. First, youth demographic advantage. With 25% of our population being younger than 30, we have a large group of talented and energetic individuals. Second, education and skill development. Quality education and skill training in Vietnam prepare the youth for effective peacekeeping. Let's move on to our third potential, cultural diversity and understanding. Our diverse culture lets them talk and understand people from different backgrounds. It's a key factor in building lasting peace. Let's move on to our next potential, technological proficiency. Vietnamese are really good at technology, which lets us see online applications anywhere at any time. Furthermore, moving initiative. We are in charge of local peace projects showing our readiness to help the world. And next, global networking. We are always ready to connect with others around the world to work together on peace issues. And last, resilience and reconciliation. Our history of bouncing back from tough times inspires not just the Vietnamese youth, but also peace builders worldwide. Now, let's move into successful stories. Our first story features Gap Cho, an extraordinary 18 years old student. As a peace ambassador, she presented our Green Peace as the Hiroshima International Peace Program in Japan back in 2016. Her passion and dedication inspires all. In our second story, we shine a light on Vietnamese youth force on ABDUL, a project devised of the youth. The project has more than 10,000 supporters who are strongly connected. the story room is that the youth are not just the leader of tomorrow, they're also the change makers of today. Let their stories inspire our work together for a better future. Now let's move on to our next part, challenges and solutions. Please.
Today, we're going to share with you the insights and findings from our business survey, which focus on challenges that young people encounter on the journey towards contributing to global peace building. Over the past 4 weeks, we have gathered responses from 441 students all across Vietnam. These responses have unveiled challenges they face and then innovative ideas to overcome them. Notably, 84% responded view global peace building as a collective effort to create more moments world. Now let's move into the powerful findings, the challenges. The top 1 challenges of the Vietnamese youth is limited access to resources. 78% of respondents have cited the limited access in education, healthcare, and economic opportunities as hindrances to active peace building participation. Second place is foreigners heard. 71% of respondents expressed frustration over not being taken seriously by adults in matters of peace and change. The third place is lack of skills and training. 66% of respondents stressed the need of skills and training in conflict resolution and peace building. And the fourth place is collaboration challenges. 58% of respondents highlighted the difficulties in collaborating with older generations, underlining the importance of intergenerational understanding. Understanding these challenges is just the first step. Our path to addressing them revolves around one answer: education. Sustainable development goals and sustainable development report are both crucial when empowering the youth towards contributing to global peace building. While SDGs address global challenges like inequality, poverty, and conflicts, SDG 4 focuses on quality of education. Education in SDG 4 is the building tools equip youth with critical thinking and problem-solving abilities, empathy, understanding, and decision making. Let's look it down further. Our approach comprises 4 key pillars. Begins with the skill development. We prioritize training and workshops to equip youth with necessary skill for peace building. Next, adults must listen to youth ideas, involving us in using thinking processes, promoting mutual respect. Moreover, by bringing together different age groups and combining experience and fresh perspective, we will create a more powerful force for peace. Lastly, by recognizing technology's potentials, we facilitate global connections and idea sharing, especially among students. To close our presentation, our team will show you some images about how a school given preparation to become a real peace builder. Let's take a look.
Thank you all for sharing the possible solution and challenges for you on the global peace building. Now, let's shift our focus on how the Experimental School of Engineering Science empowers our youth to be, well, global peacemakers. Here's some way we achieve it. First is peace education curriculum. Our school incorporates peace education into our curriculum to help students promote understanding, empathy, and peaceful conflict resolution to help them foster a global perspective. Next is cross-cultural exchange programs. These programs help the students to interact with peers in different countries and develop global friendship, and while also that gain insight into their sector. This will help them appreciate the peaceful coexistence between among countries. Other from those activities, there are skill activities like moral evaluation, or maybe self-learning activities, and last is global collaboration projects. Through this approach, ES aims to empower students with critical or teachers with the knowledge, skill, and values by equipping them with the knowledge, skill, and values to help them face the global challenges and to foster a more peaceful world.
Inspired by our first president, Ho Chi Minh, who said, "When the prison doors are open, the real dragon will fly out." We recognize that when given freedom and means to express ourselves, we can
And we definitely believe that empowered youth are the future of global peace. In closing, thank you all for a meaningful symposium.
Now, I would like to invite participants to ask questions. Now, I would like to invite judges to give questions.
Okay, students, I'm Teacher Shafika. So from your slide and also from the finding of your questionnaire, you have actually highlighted that lack of skill being one of the issues addressed by the students. And then in the next slide, you said that skill development is imperative, in which you would be suggesting the government to be providing training and workshops. Okay, but I would like to know more, and could you please enlighten us more on the kind of skills, the exact and specific skills and training that you would be providing for the students for peace purposes?
Not only us can stand here and listen to you, cooperate with global connection and the organizations. So we like to work with women to give us more chances to prepare the skill and they can stand here like us today.
Thank you.
Alright, sorry, please requested to play the video that they couldn't be heard just now. Okay. This video, right? Thank you. Thank you. Right.
Now, you allow 3 minutes for the judges to recess, right? For the next team and settle down.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning either to the honorable moderator, respectable judges, faithful timekeepers, and members of the public. We are from Scholar Science MIRI are going to present our research about examining the nexus between youth empowerment in education and the Peacebuilding agenda in Malaysia. Allow me to start with the presentation by introducing our team members. I am Alabatisha binti Abdullah.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. I am Ahmad Firdaus bin Ajami.
Hi, and a very good morning. I am Farishara Anajosni, and the three of us are the presenters of the team.
Besides that, we do also have Amar Aziz bin Zaidi as the technical assistant of the team, and Ms. Farhana binti Rahman is our advisor. Moving on to the themes of this year's Frsis, that is global peace and prosperity. Based on the theme given, we have done a research on the quality education, and the sub-theme 2, which is youth empowerment towards peacebuilding. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, we present you once again examining the nexus between youth empowerment in education and the peacebuilding agenda in Malaysia.
Now our research is based on SDG 4, which is quality education. Hence, let me introduce you to SDG 4 first. SDG 4 is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Under sub-theme 2, which is youth empowerment towards peacebuilding, they do emphasize on three keywords, which are youth empowerment, youth, and peacebuilding. For youth in Malaysia, youth is defined as those who are between the age of 15 to 30 years old. Youth empowerment is process where children and young people are encouraged to take charge of their life, while peacebuilding is a long-term process of encouraging people to talk, repairing relationships, and reforming institutions. Moving to the problem statement, there are two problem statements that we are looking for. The first one is what are the issues related to Malaysian community in education, and the second one is what are the actions taken by Malaysian youth to help with education and peacebuilding in Malaysia.
Now I'm moving to the objectives and the methodology. Starting with the objective, there are two. First, to find issues related to education in the Malaysian community. Second, to investigate Malaysian youth role in education in peacebuilding in Malaysia. For our research, we have decided to use meta-analysis as our methodology. We also did an extensive reading on related articles to find a pattern on the issues regarding education in Malaysia and Malaysian youth role in education and peacebuilding in Malaysia.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of findings, we have found issues related to education in the Malaysian community by tracing the pattern on related articles that we had read. Furthermore, we also found a number of organizations that had been created by the Malaysian youth that proves Malaysian youth's role in education and peacebuilding in Malaysia. Starting with the issues related to education in the Malaysian community. As of now, we found 4 of them. The first one would be poverty, illiteracy, lack of formal education, and last but not least, prejudice. As what we know, poverty is the state of being extremely poor. Hence, one's education will not be in a great state if they are facing poverty. So that is why it shows that youth cannot afford to get proper education due to financial constraints. Moving on to illiteracy, who knows that parents who did not get proper education could lead to illiteracy to their children. As a result, children are not provided with cognitive and language skills by the parents. Due to that, it can lead to the inability to read or write as their children. Next will be lack of formal education. Why do we have these issues in Malaysia? It is because the youth did not experience the formal experience of schooling. Based on the articles we read, it is due to unplanned school closures due to COVID-19 that occurred before this. Last but not least, prejudice in the community. This issue did affect education in the Malaysian community due to racial discrimination in certain of the Malaysian schools.
And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, the Malaysian youth had come up with initiatives to overcome these issues. Therefore, do Malaysian youth play a role in education and peace building in Malaysia? The answer is definitely yes. This can be proven by these 6 organizations that play a role in Malaysia in education and peace building in Malaysia.
First and foremost, we have Soul 24/7 that is founded by teacher Rajarevan Singh on the year 2000. It is known to be an award-winning humanitarian organization to educate and empower poor and underserved communities. Soul 24/7 do emphasizes on developing the potential of those individuals and break the cycle of poverty through various education. Other than Soul 24/7, ladies and gentlemen, we do have My Cousin. It was founded in the year 2009 by talented Dr. Ngao Kumka and wife Wan Siri. With the motto of Love My Neighborhood, My Cousin is one of the organizations that carried out a lot of programs to improve education and peacebuilding in Malaysia. The programs carried out are such as financial literacy programs, children's education, and skill training programs.
Next one, we have Squad 2015. Squad, which stands for Optimist Puberty Organizing Toolkit 2015, founded by Siti Aisyah Hassan. Squad 2015 equips girls with knowledge and dignity through sexuality education. We said that we have Aja Malaysia. Aja Malaysia educates, inspires, and empowers scholars from poor and undeserved communities by providing free education and social empowerment programs. Besides that, we also have Agathon's Chapter 2003, which was founded by Mr. Siva Balan in 2003. They did an attempt to save 8 boys from an illegal orphanage that closed down in 2003. Besides that, they also catch up orphans with education from missed years of schooling.
Last but not least, we do also have Project Belia Mahir that was created on the year 2010. Project Belia Mahir is focused on helping Belia needs to get higher education and skill training opportunities with the collaboration with higher education institutions and skill training institutions. Project Belia Mahir does play a role in helping the target group for job placement in various industrial sectors.
As for us, we do also have the desire to encourage youth empowerment towards peace building in our school. Thus, we did a project called Emergency Box that is targeting all the sensitive students. The Emergency Box is carried out mainly to enhance youth empowerment in school by working together and strengthening bonds among the students. This project is based on the practice of donating and receiving papers to the box that was prepared at a certain location in the vicinity of the school. As we carried out this project, we found out that It can help with the student expansion, and also the papers collected were donated for school for exam and notes printing. Lastly, we are aiming to carry out this project outside our school in order to reduce the waste of papers that can still be used. In conclusion, Malaysian youth does play a role in youth empowerment in education and their peacebuilding agenda in Malaysia. This can be proved when they actively engage in various initiatives and programs aimed at empowering themselves and their peers in the field of education. This can contribute to build a strong and educated future generations and can drive the nation's progress, and development.
Moving on to the recommendation side, based on further research we have done by reading some of the related articles, we have come with two suggestions in order to improve education and peacebuilding in Malaysia in the future. The first one would be to create an awareness for new issues in the Malaysian community regarding education and peacebuilding. And then the second one would be to create more organizations that are led by the youth. So starting with the issues, we have gender inequality and racism. As you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the examples of organizations that cater with the issue of gender inequality, that is Women's Aid Organization. This organization focuses on domestic violence shelters. So by this, they do provide skill enhancement, recreational activities for women and children. Due to this, they will improve their psychosocial skills. And as an initiative to this organization, they run a child care center.
These are the references to our research. That is going to be all from us. Thank you. We are welcoming any questions from the floor.
Now, I would like to invite participants to ask questions. I would like to invite the judges to give questions.
Okay, so we were very much intrigued by the project that you did at your school, which was called the emergency box. I believe that we would be extremely elated if you could have briefed us more on that, perhaps on the effects of what impact has it really brought the program to your students. Perhaps you could share with us some, words from your fellow students.
Okay. So for the emergency box, the short-term outcome that we could see, actually the box helps the students to take papers. Okay. In our school, we do have roll call. Roll call stations, we need to bring our notebooks or at least papers to jot down the thing that will be said at the roll call. So that is why our emergency box is located at this specific location that is near to the roll call place. So that is why maybe some students that are late and they do not bring their notebooks, maybe they could just take a paper from the box. So that's what we can see. But actually, for the long term, maybe if we have like a set of A4 papers in this box, we can actually take the papers and then provide it to school to print our exam papers and maybe for notes. So that are the effects that we can actually see for this emergency box project. Is there no questions? Thank you. Thank you.